dramatic, and just see this is gorgeous now. This the front. You did this just for me for my arrival. I really, I'm very impressed.
We got
you're very
pulled
sweet.
out all the stops.
I really appreciate that, because normally when I'm doing interviews around here, people just don't really even put on a kettle. Never mind.
I got you a croissant actually.
With the flowers.
If you wanted one, I've got you a croissant.
Rock and roll, that'll work.
Exactly.
We should say you've been here. You said 6 days, I think. Was it Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, well remembered. Yes, so I was priested on the Monday, which
right.
Sunday. Goodness. Yeah, Sunday, and I've basically been on the job the last week, but been living in Greystones for a month, getting to know people.
And that's I know that like you moved back. Well, you moved from Oxford to Ireland in 2010, and you were working as a receptionist and admin, and then in 2013 you went to Trinity to study for the ministry. I'm always curious in those sort of moments of because that's a big decision in life. Was it something that you'd always sort of thought, this is where I'm going to go with my life, or did it?
Not at all. No, I mean, I grew up in a very nominally Christian household, meaning we went to Sunday school every so often, and just when at the age of 10 I just decided I had no interest, and I said, Mum, not going back. And she said, all right, that's fine. So when I was about 15, my granny started hassling me to, she was like, oh, what do you think about getting confirmed? And my granny was an ardent churchgoer, and I just I did the said, oh yes, of course, Granny, of course I'm a Christian, yes, I'll go get confirmed, pleasing the granny. And I ended up at this very vibrant Anglican church that had a lot of young people. I went to the youth group because I was invited to by a friend who was quite cool, and I thought, oh, she's going, it can't be that bad. And we had this time where they said to us, look, we're going to have some time of prayer. And I thought, well, I'm not a Christian, but I'll pretend to pray, whatever you do when you pretend to pray. So I sort of sat there looking like that, and I had this dramatic moment of really, I knew God loved me. And it was from zero faith to just absolute certainty. So that was what kind of put me on this journey. But no, I mean, it took me a good 10 years after that, maybe, to consider that this is what I might be doing.
And that in that moment, because people talk about the sort of a road to Damascus moment for whatever reason in their life, that they just realise that God is a strong presence for them. Did you have to readjust your set a lot, or was that just a day? All right. And did it affect your day-to-day life? Did you sort of feel, well, this is now, everything I do now is through the prism of having this faith? Or
yeah, I mean, it was quite. Yeah, it was a real. You suddenly look at things and you think, well, actually, how am I living, and what am I talking about? Who am I slagging? Who am I? I suppose I think Jesus is as challenging now as he was 2,000 years ago in the things he asks of us, like saying to a rich man, give up everything and give it to the poor, stuff like that. That's a call that we have to engage with now. And I had a whole lot of things I had to think about. Do I give money to charity? That was a big thing suddenly, when you've got 30 quid a week on a Saturday job, well, what do you do with that? Because before it just was being spent at Topshop, or then who actually do I make the effort to talk to? Do I talk to the people that I think they're fun or they're popular, or do I look at actually who's on the edges? There's a lot of stuff that I had to think about.
So was there kind of a period of was it a struggle in regard to, because any good faith has to be a certain amount of doubt. You're sort of allowing for the yes and the no. You can't just be completely blind. If you're going to be truly committed, you've got to convince yourself that it all adds up in your mind. Was it a lot of I don't know if that was plain sailing, whether there was moments of real doubt, or
it wasn't plain sailing. No, I think I chose to study theology when I was 19, not really with any view of going into ministry, but just saying to myself, look, I want to answer these questions, because they are big questions, and you're looking at the Bible and you're saying, well, where did this come from? Who wrote this? And does it stack up? And my brother was an ardent atheist, went off and read all the books to try and kind of discuss things with me, and well, what do you think about this? And so I just literally went and studied it. But I think Christianity is about truth. We say Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and so we're never seeking after kind of codding ourselves. We're just trying to find out, well, what is real? And having read the books and having seen the evidence and read all the different sides, I really came to the conclusion, no, this is as close to truth that I think anything is. And it's everything. There's always a measure of doubt. You're never going to be able to say this is absolutely dead certain. But I stepped out in faith, and I have been for the last few years, saying, God, I think think you're real, and I think Jesus is God, and you have to make that call. You can't sit on the fence.
Yeah. Well, I think it would be very hard to run the Elvis fan club if you didn't really believe in Elvis.
Well, totally. Well, yeah, I know they'd be thinking, what are they doing with this one?
So I'm thinking then, does that work out well for your husband, Brendan? I think, and you have a son, Noah. If they're bold or they don't do what you like, do you forgive them, or how does it work?
Yeah, we have a lot of I forgive you. I said I had a moment with my son earlier. He went to the bathroom, he weed all over the floor. And I went in.
Your son now,
my
right?
son, not my husband. No. Although you'd be forgiven for thinking that. I went in and I said, Noah, what are you doing? And he looked at me and he said, do you forgive me, Mummy? So it's all getting drummed in there somewhere. Yeah, no, there's a lot of forgiving and not.
And you obviously named him after Noah Baumbach, the filmmaker, was it?
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Or Noah from the Notebook is what people said.
Go.
So you called him after Noah from the Notebook.
So was it our boy with the ark, or was it just?
It was the lad with the ark. Yeah,
okay.
No, we heard a good.
He's pretty big. A lot of people know him too.
Yeah.
Not as big as Noah Baumbach, the filmmaker, but he is.
I've never heard of Noah Baumbach.
There's one great film. The Squid and the Whale is perfect, but he's a good filmmaker. Yeah.
I'll check him out.
Jason Lee for a while, but yeah, decent filmmaker.
Check him out.
We should say that there's two things coming up on Monday from 7:30 till 9 o'clock. We have the Alpha course.
Yes.
Which is, as you said yourself to me when we spoke before on email, just that it's people will often assume, well, if you're going to be talking about the Bible and God and all that, it's going to be very serious and pious and all the rest. But I guess the Alpha course is the one thing that they're keen to do, is that it is. This is just a discussion about what it might mean to you, and friendly and open, as opposed to you've already got to walk in saved.
No, absolutely, goodness, and we wouldn't we would want all sorts of people turning up, and it's the guy that runs it, Nicky Gumbel, we'll listen to his talks.
So he'd be an alpha male, really.
Well, he is the alpha male.
There you go.
He was this barrister that I think was an atheist and just wanted to debunk the whole thing, and through looking at it from a kind of academic perspective, came around and said, no, I think this is truth. And so it's all done very much. He's very good at explaining, this is why I think what I think. But we have discussion times, like, well, what do you think about that? How do you find that argument? What do you think this means for you? And the thing is, whatever you come out thinking, these are important questions. I think we sometimes brush over the weighty questions in life, and we think about the little things day to day. But if there's a God, that's a big thing, and it means something. So it's very casual.
And we live in a time of distractions where social media and so forth, the distraction is a wonderful tool for just not really sort of dealing with either the mess of your room or the mess of your life, or whatever might be else that might be more important than what Kim Kardashian was wearing yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you've come to Greystones, and it is you're like, it's sort of like an indefinite thing, and it would be all new. I know you've been here for a month. I'm sure, obviously, it must be odd when a whole town is made up of good-looking people. It must be sort of surreal.
And they all go jogging. Everyone jogs.
That's it. Yes, they're all super healthy. Obviously, I don't know if you've had any dealings with some Satanists down in the Burnaby. I don't know if you've.
No, I've never been there. No, that might be
best
why.
Avoid the Burnaby, a lot of underground tunnels and all. Once you go in there,
are they paying you to advertise?
but that idea too of the life of a curate, I guess there is that sort of nomadic side to it, that you do have to adapt and know that you'll be here for a matter of years possibly, but then you sort of know that it's like the calling, really. You just have to you go where you're needed, or where they feel that you're best. Is that something that you kind of embrace with open arms, or is it a little bit sort of, when you've got a young child, a little bit tougher to sort of say, we don't know exactly what we'd be for school in 5 years? Or
do you know what it was? I mean, we had a tough summer because this didn't get confirmed until July. Right. And you're there thinking, right, so home and school, and God always comes through, and in our experience we've always had that. So I moved to Dublin in 2010. We didn't have a penny, we didn't have anywhere to live. Found a place, found a job. Same here. This is perfect for us, and we never knew this was even coming up as a placement, so it's just been amazing.
How do you get this particular kind of position? I don't know if there's a prayer off or a dance off.
It's the dance off. No, I lost the dance off. No, I mean, the church has this process where they interview people and they try and find a good fit for you.
Right.
And I don't know if you knew, but the previous curate at Greystones has just been appointed to Dunleary.
Yes.
To Keller Grange. So this came up later than the other parishes, and it's just so I ended up being placed here. The bishop thought this was a good place for me to be, and I love it.
I must say that I had, I think maybe most people would. I certainly would have had an idea of a curate being, but in some way looking like they're related to Stephen Fry. I mean, in some way, shape, or
Stephen
form.
Fry.
But there is a different world now, isn't there? That thankfully, I guess, there is that. There is a sort of shaking off of stereotypes and sort of, the for want of a better term, the human side of all, kind of parts of the church are kind of important now, that people realise this is just a person who has decided that they, believe, and they would like, to share that and to be there to help, as opposed to you must believe also, otherwise you're going to hell. It seems to be a different climate now.
I think, there's more of a climate of, it's not the norm, let's be honest. By this stage, we are having to really reassess, how were we engaging with people? What does it mean to be in the church? What is the church? And I think back in the day we took it for granted. People would come, they'd sit on the pews, they'd go home. And now it's, we have to just say, what have we done that's lost young people, and what do we need to change to re-engage? And I think things like Alpha are actually a really big part of that. The Alpha course is huge. It's run internationally, hundreds of thousands of people attending, and people that are not church people at all. So we just have to say, what is it that we're doing that's stopping people coming in, and how do we change things? And I think part of that is losing any judgmental attitude, and just saying that Jesus was open to people coming to him and asking questions, and so are we.
You're not going to put Wi-Fi in the churches yet, though, hopefully.
I think we've got Wi-Fi.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's good to know. I'm sure kids will be interested now. They might actually know,
don't tell
especially if their parents have turned off their Wi-Fi at home.
I know. Get a little homework club going. Homework.
Now, you also have coming up for Halloween on October 31st, we should mention, a kids party, and that's from the age of 0 to 13, but then 4-year-olds and on would have to be accompanied by an adult. But that's going to be the usual thing, fancy dress, and there'll be prizes, and also for the best pumpkin. Which and would you dress up for such a thing? I don't know.
I will be dressed up. You will be seeing me dressed up. I don't know if I'll be sporting the collar as well with the dressing up. It's all to be decided. I don't want to give too much away. I'll be dressed up. That's a promise.
Magic. And I suppose just to wrap up then, just for those who may have that sort of interest in stepping back to the church, there's a lot of good people. I'm thinking about Mr. Swan and all that, who've been connected to this particular church, especially has got a very kind of strong presence in the community. Is it best to just call down and say hello? Is it best
come over any time?
Right. Okay.
Honestly, well, we're in the office during the week. There's normally someone. And we have a Wednesday service, 10:30 in the morning. That's kind of like a casual Eucharist. It's very nice. We go out and we have a cup of tea afterwards, a bit of a chat. We've got 2 services on the Sunday, and we have new people all the time, and we're really trying to be a church that notices when someone's come in, says, do you want to come for a cup of coffee? We have coffee every Sunday. It's a great way to get to know people. I've only been here a month, and already I know about 100 names, and I've forgotten about 100 names. So we're a really open community, and it's not like, I don't know if you ever imagined going to church as a child and going to this new church and everyone turns around and frowns at you. It's not like that at all. It's we're
I
friendly.
Get that because I run the guide. I get that a lot when I walk into rooms. I suppose we'll put in a link to the website, but also we can just put in any contact details for those who just want to take that first step by saying hello, and would it be alright to call down? It'd be kind of an easy way to do it.
Pop me an email, RebeccaGUILDEA@gmail.com.
Beautiful. I'll put that in the text as well. But well done and welcome to Greystones.
Thank you. Thanks, Paul. And